Hello, and welcome to Coffee Talk. Today we're going to talk about the 15th Sunday of Ordinary Time and the Gospel from Matthew, which is from chapter 13, verses 1 through 9. And it's a parable, which I'm sure we've heard before, about the sower and the sowing of seeds. This Gospel goes, "On that day, Jesus went out of the house and sat down by the sea. Such large crowds gathered around him that he got into a boat and sat down instead, and the whole crowd stood along the shore. And he spoke to them at length in parables, saying, A sower went out to sow, and as he sowed, some seed fell on the path, and birds came and ate it up. Some seed fell on rocky ground, where it had little soil. It sprang up at once, because the soil was not deep. And when the sun rose, it was scorched, and it withered, for lack of roots. Some seed fell among thorns, and the thorns grew up and choked it. But some seed fell on rich soil and produced fruit, 100 or 60 or 30-fold. We've heard that gospel many, many times, and I'm sure we all have an understanding as to what it might mean, at least the literal meaning. You know, that we're called to be good soil so that we can be receptive of God's word and God's way of life. But any good parable also has other meanings. And I propose the following one. It has to go back to the beginning of the parable, when the sower takes up the seed and starts sowing. I mean, if the sower is God, God really knew the soil that was rich would produce fruit. But he sowed seed on the path. He sowed seed in rocky ground. The seed was sown in thorns. You know, and maybe that's where lies the challenge for us as contemporary followers of Christ. Maybe we're called to be that presence in the thorny areas of life, in the rocky areas of life, on those wide open paths with nothing around and solitude. We're called to bring the word and the love and the compassion of God to our world. I found this saying in preparing for this, and I thought it worked really well. It says, "Never underestimate the power of a planted seed." Never underestimate the power of a planted seed. And I propose the following to add on it. Never underestimate the power of a planted seed, especially if we are there to help it grow. Take care, and I look forward to seeing you on Sunday. Bye-bye.